So definitely going to see some High Templar tech in this game, and also getting that upgrade that gives him the additional 25 energy once those units are spawned. Currently not using any Blink or Zealot charge, which I'm surprised to see no Blink because he does have a lot of Stalkers. But using those upgrades for the High Templars will definitely bode well for him. But meanwhile, in the Terran army, you can see that there are a couple of ghosts there, which using EMP against those High Templars or even against any of the ground units from the Protoss army, very, very effective. And it looks like AJ is going to try to break down these destructible rocks, blowing through both sets of destructible rocks very quickly, although apparently not going to attack right now, just wants to have that avenue of attack open to him when he decides to go for it. And it looks like he may actually be getting ready to move in right now, although Rodrigo moving himself into position as well. So he is going to be ready, and we're going to see a very big clash here. Oh, one ghost getting too far ahead, getting a decent EMP off on some of those Stalkers, although it looks like one of them missed a little bit. Oh, and a good Psystorm on those Banshees, doing a good amount of damage on them, softening them up a little bit. And the Banshees are going to cloak. I don't see one of Rodrigo's observers overhead. I'm not sure why he doesn't have one of those in play right now. And that Immortal's going to get picked off very quickly as well. Here comes another great Psystorm, doing a ton of damage to all of those Marauders and the Banshees overhead because he does not have any Medivacs. And when using the Stim Pack, those Marauders are just going to take a ton of damage. And it looks like all of those Banshees are just going to be taken down very, very easily to the Stalker fire, although managing to take out a few Stalkers there. There are a handful of Zealots and Immortals left, and more units continuing to be warped in, and it looks like AJ is going to have to back off right now. And as you can see, a large amount of his Marauders have been softened up significantly. So I definitely think he should look to get some Medivacs on the map right now, because that would definitely help him with his infantry army, because he is relying very, very heavily on that Stim Pack and the infantry army for his Marauders. Meanwhile, he has tried to put up an expansion down here at the high yield minerals. It doesn't look like Rodrigo has seen this yet, so we'll see if he's able to get that up and running and actually take advantage of a little bit of extra income and take a lead in the econ game against his opponent. But meanwhile, there is another expansion going up for Rodrigo. He is taking his next natural expansion, so getting both players getting their second expansions up relatively quickly here and relatively at the same time, it looks like. So the timing right on, and as you can see, another great scan there going down. AJ getting a great look at Rodrigo's composition for his army, and it looks like he is going to spot this expansion relatively quickly. It's not even halfway done, and he's going to force Rodrigo to cancel that. Actually, I don't even know if he was able to cancel that. It looked like he may have actually just taken it out, which is very unfortunate for Rodrigo if he lost that. That is 400 minerals down the drain. But meanwhile, back at his base, you can see that he is still macroing SCVs like crazy. He does have a ton of SCVs on his mineral line right now. Both players in the 60s. They're only a 4 harvester lead for Rodrigo right now, and it looks like Rodrigo trying to get that expansion up and running. Once again, putting down another Nexus, and he does have some cannons in play now to help defend against that, and splitting his army up. I'm not sure exactly why he's splitting his army up right now. Actually, it looks like just putting half of them a little bit further back, although going to pull them all back together now, and I guess once again splitting them up. He's going to use Stalkers and High Templars in one group, and then it looks like he has Zealots and Immortals split up into the other group primarily. So definitely going to use a little bit of a split army combination. And it looks like AJ does have his expansion up and running at the high yield, although not a whole lot of SCVs down there right now. Trying to get an orbital command up and running so that he can continue to take advantage of that extra income. And Rodrigo has not yet scouted that, I don't believe. Yeah, as you can see there, he does not see that, although there is a probe on the way to check that high yield base. So that is going to be found out very quickly. And as you can see by the ghost image there, he was actually planning on building a Nexus there. And meanwhile, AJ moving in to the base of Rodrigo, taking out the pylon, which of course takes a couple of those gateways offline. Oh, but a great Psystorm from Rodrigo, managing to do a lot of damage to those Marauders, and a couple siege tanks here are going to do a decent amount of damage to this base. And here come the Protoss forces, a lot of Zealots up in front, and followed up by a few High Templars, Stalkers, and Immortals. Oh, some great Psystorms going down on that ramp, though, just absolutely decimating that Terran infantry force. And you can see he is warping in more Zealots in the back, and it looks like AJ is actually going to be forced to pick up as many of his units in those medevacs as he can and just retreat across to his own base. And as you can see, all of these units that did make it out of there are pretty low on health right now, so he is going to need to utilize every one of those units that he has and repair them and heal them as much as possible. Meanwhile, it looks like Rodrigo is actually going to try to do some kind of a cannon rush, possibly down on the expansion that he found from AJ at the high yield. although one stalker coming in to help with that, and it looks like a lot of SCVs being transferred to that high yield base right now. But unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be able to hold on to it, and yeah, he is going to move his SCVs back to the safety of their main base, as this huge army from Rodrigo is going to move out and try to take down this forward position from AJ. And it looks like the stalkers do have blink now, blinking up to get underneath that orbital command relatively quickly, and it looks like they are going to just pound away at this orbital command as it tries to fly away. If he can get it in the red, yeah, oh my goodness, it is in the red. I don't think he's going to be able to save that because there are no SCVs to repair that anywhere nearby, unless he can manage to fly it over to this expansion and build an SCV before it burns up. But I think that is too far for him to do that, and yeah, it looks like he is going to try to move it. It does still have about 250 hit points, so I don't know, we'll see. That is a decent amount of time, but once again, another scan going down from AJ, always getting good scans on, seeing exactly where those expansions are, and also checking out the army composition from Rodrigo. But meanwhile, back at the base of AJ, we can see that he is sticking with his unit combination, does not want to mix it up at all right now. Going to keep producing Marauders, although he is getting some medevacs overhead right now, which is very much needed for this Marauder force, and he is going to continue to actually support that with siege tanks and banshees. So a lot of Terran infantry and mech combining here to take on these Protoss forces, and with how many High Templars Rodrigo has, I think that that can be very, very difficult. He really needs to get those ghosts more involved with using the EMP to take away those High Templar energies so that he does not get pounded by so many Psystorms. As we saw just a minute ago, that was absolutely lethal to his infantry army. But looking at the orbital command here from AJ, it looks like he was able to get that to that hidden expansion there and is repairing it so that he can keep it up and running, although these SCVs not repairing as well. It looks like just the mule trying to repair there, but he needs to get those repairing and try to get that base up and running so he can keep up here, because he is very quickly falling behind in the econ game. You can see that there is a huge advantage for Rodrigo right now. He has his second expansion up and running, and he's also got his third expansion now going pretty strong at the high yield minerals. And it looks like the Terran player AJ is actually trying to set up a little bit of a forward position, doing a bunker push with a bunch of tanks and Marauders. And he also does have the Banshees and the medevacs overhead still. Only 2 medevacs still. I definitely would like to see him get a few more of those in there, considering how many Marines and Marauders he has in his army combination. But anyways, it looks like he is going to be fortifying a front position here and using those Banshees to do a little bit of harassment on this Protoss base rather, while he's moving forward, trying to take out that Cybernetics core. He does get the Cybernetics core, so we're not going to see any more stalkers coming on the map anytime really soon. And it looks like this Terran army is going to be taking on this Protoss force right at his front door. And some great Psystorms once again. Psystorms have really told the tale of this match. Oh my goodness, so many kills from those Psystorms. Oh man, that was just absolutely brutal. I cannot believe how well Rodrigo is controlling those Psystorms right now, just absolutely decimating all of those infantry units. And of course, with all the observers overhead, he is going to be able to pick off those Banshees with no problem at all. Meanwhile, it looks like AJ has gotten his expansion up and running. He's done repairing his orbital command, and the destructible debris in front of that base are still intact. So it will be a little bit longer before Rodrigo realizes this base is here. But we are in, or AJ rather, is in a very bad spot economically. His main base is mined out, although he did once, it looks like, move to the island base here. So he's going to have that up and running as well, which I don't believe that Rodrigo is aware of that. No, he is not. So both expansions for AJ right now are hidden from Rodrigo's vision. He is not aware of them. So if he can manage to hold off these pushes for a little bit longer, he might be able to get himself back into this game. Although Rodrigo, once again, putting up another expansion in the 6 o'clock position here, it looks like. So he is going to continue to expand across this map, which is exactly what he needs to do if he wants to continue to hold off this Terran army. There's so many Psystorms going down right now. That is going to be all she wrote for the Terran player, and AJ is going to GG. So this game going to Rodrigo. Apparently he is going to move into the next round of this tournament, which I do not have all the games for, so I'm not going to be casting the whole thing, but he did send me a few replays here, and this game seemed like it was rather interesting, so I wanted to cast it. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I am going to continue putting up more games as I can find good replays on here, as well as the tutorials for the challenge missions. And I also wanted to make a quick note here. I will be putting up a video here that will be in conjunction with Elisa. We're running a little bit of a promotion here, and we will have details on that announcement. We're going to be giving some stuff away. So anyways, just wanted to give you guys a quick teaser about that, but keep an eye out for a video that will be explaining the details of that giveaway, and hopefully you guys can win some free stuff. Thanks for watching. GG.